Our story begins with Tsar Nicholas II, the last emperor of Russia. He inherited a country steeped in tradition and imperial grandeur. However, it was also burdened by poverty and inequality. Nicholas was a devout family man, deeply committed to his loved ones. He believed in autocratic rule, holding absolute power, but unrest grew as people demanded change. The Russo-Japanese War weakened his regime. The 1917 revolution altered Russian history. Nicholas and his family met a tragic end, executed by the Bolsheviks. This marked the end of an era, shocking the world. A new chapter began, filled with hope and terror. The stage was set for a new leader to reshape the nation's destiny. From the ashes of the revolution rose Vladimir Lenin, a figure who would change the course of history. He was a charismatic leader with a sharp intellect, known for his powerful speeches and unwavering determination. Lenin had spent years in exile, tirelessly working on his revolutionary ideas and strategies. He returned to Russia with a plan, a vision to transform the nation. He wanted to build a socialist utopia, a society where everyone would be equal. This new society would be based on equality and justice, free from the oppression of the past. It would be a stark contrast to the Tsarist regime, which had long exploited the common people. Lenin's Bolsheviks seized power in a swift coup, changing the political landscape overnight. They promised peace, land, and bread, appealing to the war-weary and impoverished masses. The people, weary of war and hardship, embraced the change, hoping for a better future. The Russian Civil War tested Lenin's leadership, pushing him to his limits. The Bolsheviks faced opposition from all sides, including the White Army and foreign intervention. They fought with unwavering determination, driven by their revolutionary ideals. Victory came at a high cost, with cities destroyed and countless lives lost. Millions perished in the conflict, leaving a scar on the nation. Lenin laid the foundations for the Soviet Union, establishing a new government and policies. It was a vast empire that stretched across continents, uniting diverse peoples under one banner. He died in 1924, leaving behind a complex legacy. However, his ideas continued to shape the nation, influencing future generations. A new era of Soviet history was about to begin, marked by rapid industrialization and social change. It would be an era marked by the iron rule of Joseph Stalin, who would take Lenin's vision to new extremes. Joseph Stalin emerged from the shadows. He was a ruthless and ambitious man. He consolidated his power through fear and intimidation. Millions perished during his brutal purges. Stalin transformed the Soviet Union. He implemented a series of 5-year plans. These plans focused on rapid industrialization and collectivized agriculture. Forced collectivization led to widespread famine. Millions of peasants died. Stalin's paranoia increased. No one was safe from his wrath. Despite the horrors, the Soviet Union emerged as a global superpower. Stalin's leadership during World War II cemented his image. He was seen as the man who defeated Nazi Germany. Stalin's legacy remains a subject of intense debate. He was a tyrant who inflicted immense suffering. He also transformed the Soviet Union into a major world power. After Stalin's death in 1953, the Soviet Union faced uncertainty. Nikita Khrushchev emerged as the new leader. He was known for his bold and unpredictable decisions. He denounced Stalin's crimes in a secret speech. This marked the beginning of de-Stalinization. Khrushchev's rule saw a period of relative openness. This became known as the Thaw. He eased censorship and released political prisoners. However, political dissent was still monitored. He crushed the Hungarian uprising in 1956. This showed the limits of his tolerance for rebellion. The Cold War intensified under Khrushchev. The Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 brought the world to the brink of nuclear war. Khrushchev's decision to remove missiles from Cuba averted disaster. However, it led to his downfall. He was ousted from power in 1964. He was replaced by Leonid Breev. A new chapter was about to begin in Soviet history. Section 5. The Years of Stagnation. Leonid Brezhnev's grip on power. Leonid Brezhnev took the helm of the Soviet Union in 1964. His rule would be marked by stability and stagnation. He reversed many of Khrushchev's reforms. He tightened control over Soviet society. Brezhnev presided over a period of economic stagnation. Consumer goods were scarce. the Soviet economy struggled to keep pace with the West. Despite economic challenges, Brezhnev invested heavily in the military. The Soviet Union achieved military parity with the United States. This fueled the arms race and heightened Cold War tensions. Brezhnev's health declined in the late 1970s. The Soviet Union seemed adrift. It was a superpower in decline. His death in 1982 ushered in a period of political and economic uncertainty. The stage was set for a new leader, a leader who would attempt to reform the crumbling Soviet system. Section 6. The Reformer, Mikhail Gorbachev and the Fall of an Empire. Mikhail Gorbachev inherited a country in crisis. He was a young and energetic leader, determined to reform the Soviet system. His policies of glasnost, or openness, and perestroika, meaning restructuring, aimed to revitalize the country. Gorbachev's reforms had unintended consequences. They unleashed forces that he could not control. Nationalism surged within the Soviet republics. The Berlin Wall fell in 1989, and the Soviet Empire began to crumble. Gorbachev's attempts to hold the Soviet Union together failed. The country dissolved in 1991, marking the end of the Cold War. Gorbachev's legacy is complex. He is credited with ending the Cold War peacefully. However, he is also blamed for the collapse of the Soviet Union. He remains a controversial figure in Russia today. Section 7. From the Ashes. Boris Yeltsin and the New Russia. From the wreckage of the Soviet Union emerged Boris Yeltsin. He became the first president of the Russian Federation. It was a time of turmoil and uncertainty. The country was undergoing a painful transition. Yeltsin's reforms were radical and deeply unpopular. He implemented shock therapy, leading to hyperinflation and hardship. Despite challenges, Yeltsin oversaw a new constitution, establishing democratic principles. He resigned on New Year's Eve 1999, handing power to Vladimir Putin. A new chapter was about to begin in Russian history. Section 8. The Strongman Vladimir Putin's Rise to Power. Vladimir Putin, a former KGB officer, assumed the presidency in 2000. He promised to restore order and stability to Russia. Putin consolidated his power quickly, cracking down on dissent and bringing the media under state control. He oversaw an economic recovery fueled by rising oil prices. He restored Russia's standing on the world stage. Putin's Russia is a complex and often contradictory place. It is a country with a rich history and culture, yet it grapples with corruption, inequality, and a lack of political freedoms. Putin's leadership has been marked by both successes and failures. He has restored Russia's global influence but has also alienated the West with his actions in Ukraine and Syria. Putin's legacy is yet to be written. Only time will tell how he will be remembered by history. Section 9. A legacy etched in time. The enduring impact of Russia's leaders. The leaders of Russia and the Soviet Union have left an indelible mark on history. From the last Tsar to the current president, each has shaped the destiny of this vast and complex nation. Their stories are tales of ambition, ideology, triumph, and tragedy. These leaders have grappled with immense challenges. They have led Russia through revolutions, wars, and periods of profound transformation. Their decisions have had a profound impact on the lives of millions, both within Russia and beyond its borders. Their stories continue to resonate today, offering valuable lessons for the present and the future.